Hi everyone, this is Balázs from RacingBrick. This week is full of new sets and exotic franchises popping up in the LEGO world. Honestly, I didn't expect a $650 18 plus Pokemon set pre-order to sell out in a day, but here we are. There are a lot of complaints every time and somehow these still sell like hotcakes. Meanwhile, there's a lot happening in the LEGO education world that might have a broader impact on our hobby. LEGO Education just introduced a new product line, LEGO Education Computer Science and AI. It seems to use the same electronic components as the LEGO Education Science products revealed last year: motors, sensors, a wireless controller, and NFC pairing cards. I know AI is a word that triggers a lot of reactions these days. I don't have many details about the new platform yet, only that it's aimed at education and age-appropriate learning, but I want to focus on the hardware today, so let's stay with the hardware side for now. There's also something that caught the eye of many AFOs. These new kits include something what looks suspiciously like monorail-style tracks, and the motors can run on them horizontally, vertically, and upside down. If you want to ignite AFOL excitement, that's the way to do it. We will circle back to that later. What I really want to talk about today is the bigger picture these new education products reveal. Not just what's new, but what's disappearing, because LEGO also announced some core sets going away. This feels like the quiet concluding chapter of the powered-up hardware ecosystem, and it all started a few years earlier. Mindstorms was unexpectedly retired in 2022. That one surprised a lot of people. The Robot Inventor kit barely had time to find its audience, and overnight we lost a whole family of consumer electronics: the hub, the angular motors, the sensors, and a good chunk of the Mindstorms app experience. Compared to EV3's long run, Robot Inventor felt like a short cameo. At the time it looked like a single product retirement, but in hindsight it now reads like the beginning of a long platform wind down. Spike Prime and Spike Essentials stepped into the leading LEGO robotics role after Mindstorms vanished, although they both exist in the education universe, so they are not designed to be used at home in the first place. The surprise news is, now Spike Prime and Spike Essential are both retiring as well. And this time there's nothing behind them waiting in line from the same system family. And for those who following First LEGO League, this also means the rules will change. Spike was the current standard there, and with its retirement, FLL announced the transition to a new Future Edition that runs on the new Computer Science and AI platform. For a while both systems will coexist, but eventually the Spike-based Founders Edition will phase out. I am not deeply involved in the FLL world, but even from the outside, it is clear this is not a minor rules update and may require significant investments from people who likely transitioned to the Spike ecosystem not long ago. If you look at the powered-up inventory from the consumer side, the story becomes even clearer. The Mindstorms hardware is gone, the Spike hubs are going, Spike motors and sensors will be gone with them. We are down to the large Technic motor, the train motor, the powered-up light, the remote, and a couple of hubs including the 2-port city hub. The rechargeable 88021 battery was the most recent introduction, but the matching all-in-one Technic hub can only be bought inside 2 RC cars. That's not an active ecosystem anymore, that looks like a clearance bin. The powered-up app does not even support this hub, and I don't think it ever will. So yes, it's fair to say that Powered Up as we knew it is reaching the end of its life cycle. LEGO never writes press releases titled "We are retiring this platform", but the evidence is in the product list. When a platform shrinks to the point that the only way to get the latest hub is to buy an RC supercar, that's not called expansion in my book. Now let's switch back to the new education hardware. The motors and sensors in the Science and Computer Science and AI kits look like something new. They are rechargeable, they use Bluetooth, they support wireless controllers. They even include NFC pairing cards so the teacher doesn't have to become the school IT help desk. But these are not robotics components in the Mindstorms or Spike sense. There is no programmable hub. There is no onboard execution. There is some level of coding to my surprise, as in last May before LEGO Science launched, we were told that there's no coding for this platform. Apparently someone changed their mind, as this online coding canvas does exactly that. But the code runs on the student's tablet or laptop and streams commands to the parts over Bluetooth. If you are coming from EV3 or Robot Inventor, that feels like losing a limb. If you are coming from Technic Control Plus, it feels familiar. The absence of a programmable brick changes the entire identity of the platform. With Spike and Mindstorms, you could run code on the hub. You could disconnect and let the robot roam. And with PyBricks, we finally got proper on-brick programming for almost all the hubs without phones, and true cross-platform support between hardware-compatible parts coming from different LEGO teams. The new platform doesn't seem to have that. Without local execution, there is no autonomy, no robotics competition path, and no PyBrick-style magic. So the big question becomes, is this the next consumer electronics platform, or is it an education-only system like we do? And we can extend the question, where does the new Smart Brick fit in? Does it fit at all? LEGO introduced Smart Play at CES with the new Smart Brick at the center. We know it won't be compatible with Powered Up, but that's the thing of the past apparently. Will the Smart Brick be able to act as a trigger for these new wireless motors, or will it live totally independently in interactive playsets for light and sound only? Right now, all we have is speculation, but the timing is suspiciously convenient. What we do see is that the Powered Up generation is nearing its final chapter. Mindstorms exited in 2022, Spike exits in 2026, FLL enters a transition period. The remaining Powered Up inventory is a skeleton crew, and the replacement is not yet settled. It could be the science and AI peripherals, it could be Smart Play, it could be something completely different. And that brings us back to the rails. If those monorail-like beams end up in consumer sets, we might witness the most unexpected redemption arc in LEGO history. If you want to see the AFL community explode with excitement, that would be the easiest way to do it. But whether we get monorails or not, we are watching a platform retire that probably never reached its full potential and something new forming in slow motion. It's messy, unclear, somewhat exciting, but also worrying at the same time. So folks, let me know what you think about this news, how you imagine the future of LEGO electronics, and whether you think we will ever see monorails return. Please share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe with notifications, as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon. See you next time, bye bye.